얼마 전 디아블로4와 POE2가 1시간 간격으로 라이브 스트림을 했고 보안이 해외에서 더 난리가 난 사건이 있었습니다. 솔직히 나만 화가 나는 건가? 이상하다. 왜 해외는 잠잠하지? 의아했지만 곧 개선되겠지 라고 생각하고 굳이 더 언급하지는 않았지만 이번 퍼거슨의 트윗 사건을 보니 왜 지금 디아블로4에 대한 유저 평가가 박살이 났는지 솔직히 이해되었죠. 어쩌면 원인을 알게 되었달까요? POE2 라이브 스트리밍이 진행된 직후 디아블로4 총괄 매니저 로드퍼거슨은 트윗을 하나 올렸는데 번역하자면 액션 RPG라는 장르가 많은 다른 의미를 갖기 시작한 것 같습니다. 소울라이크와 로그라이크 등으로 말이죠. 디아블로 공식을 따르는 액션 RPG에 대해 디아블로-라이크로 표준화할 수 있을지 궁금합니다. 라는 트윗이죠. 그래서 간단히 요약하자면 액션 RPG 장르가 너무 광범위해지는 상황에서 디아블로 스타일을 따르는 액션 RPG를 디아블로-라이크라고 부르자는 제안인 것 같습니다. 아무튼 이 트윗 이후로 시즌6 동안에는 이상하게 잠잠했던 해외가 오히려 더 난리가 났는데 그 반응들을 모은 프로스티라루의 패러디 영상을 함께 보시죠. 그냥 웃긴 패러디 영상이니까 재미로 봐주시면 좋겠습니다.
This is one of the strongest announcements I've ever seen in the history of ARPGs.
This is insane.
Holy crap, this is gonna be incredible.
This is old school RuneScape.
You gotta play it.
I'm excited.
This is perfect.
Diablo 4 is cooked.
See, this is what Diablo 4 should have been.
Like Diablo 4 is bad, Diablo 4 is dead.
I'm gonna quit Diablo 4.
That this beta has more depth to it than Diablo 4 does after the expansion. Like, this is fucking insane.
Welcome back, you freaking traitors. You probably clicked on this video to hear about Path of Exile 2, and that absolutely disgusts me. Anyway, in this video, I'll be going over all the major issues with Path of Exile 2, followed by a recent tweet by the Diablo 4 Giga Chad himself, Rod Diablo-like Ferguson, as well as many other well-known Diablo 4 superfans' thoughts and plans in regards to Path of Exile 2. Alright, let's jump in and get to the major problems with this game.
Unfortunately, Path of Exile 2 will not be available on Mac OS at the start of early access, but we're keen to have this platform. Okay, so Mac gamers once again are taking an L.
Well, that sums up all the major problems with PoE2. Sucks to be you, Mac gamers. Anyway, on to bigger news. Let's recap the tweet heard by literally billions of people around the world.
Look at Rod Ferguson's tweet. Is this the Diablo-like thing? Is this that bullshit about that? Let me see if I can find it. Where's Rod Ferguson? There it is. Let me double check.
So, a couple of days ago, when the PoE2 stream ended, literally, X is blowing up, people are posting like crazy, holy crap, this is gonna be incredible. Rod Ferguson,
the general manager of all of Diablo, decided to go on Twitter and absolutely cook himself with this unhinged take.
Oh my goodness. Hogs got the video. Path of Exile 2 reveal was so epic it steamed Rod Ferguson. All right, what is it?
The genre of ARPG is starting to mean a lot of different things. Much like Souls-like and roguelike, okay. I wonder if we could normalize Diablo-like for ARPGs that follow the Diablo formula.
I absolutely cannot believe that this is real. Out of all the badass stuff that was showcased, after all the in-game, after all the Atlas rework, dual skill trees, and weapons that you can dual wield in one hand, all the 6 classes, and all this badass shit that they showed us yesterday at the Path of Exile 2 early access live stream, this right here was my favorite. That shit triggered Rod Ferguson so bad that he had to go make a tweet.
Rod Ferguson is scared. He is threatened, though he's lashing out. Grinding Gear Games has made something tremendous with Path of Exile 2. It has Blizzard shivering, and the game isn't even out yet.
No wonder Rod was making tweets. No, this isn't an ARPG. It's just like Diablo. Like, yeah, sure, Rod. Getting mad.
Bruh, you ain't even followed the Diablo like you ain't even got a goddamn Diablo in your game. So just please go sit down and get out of here.
Now, maybe he's scared, maybe he's a little nervous, but the last thing you want to do is come across as petty. And that's how this looks.
I think it's very unprofessional. If I was the VP of a game company, I wouldn't be throwing shade. That's a very passive-aggressive way to throw shade at GGG indirectly.
But this is such bad form. It is absolutely terrible. Like the timing on it, everything about it just looks really, really bad. It comes across as jealous.
Well, hold up. You guys are the ones sounding jealous. Do you even know how freaking cool the term Diablo-like sounds? Look, I can completely see what Rod is talking about here, and the term Diablo-like is already spreading like wildfire. For example, when a game you are super hyped for launches and it's completely not what you expected, that's Diablo-like. When a company removes a key feature, like a charger for a phone, then sells that key feature back to you later on, that's Diablo-like. When a game has a skill tree system with no meaningful options, that's Diablo-like. When you are at a self-checkout, but you are asked to tip for doing the job the company you are tipping should be doing, well, that's Diablo-like. And lastly, when a game you took off for work for has a massive delay on launch that lasts for hours or even days, yeah, you guessed it right, that's Diablo-like. So you should probably give Rod a little slack here. He knows what he is doing and is completely not jealous at all about PoE 2. In fact, PoE 2 should be thanking Diablo, not the other way around, right?
The thing is that, and Grinding Gear Games would be the first people to say this, that they owe a lot to Diablo 3. Because Diablo 3 being dog shit on release, dude, when the PoE closed beta came out, every single person in the general chat was talking about how shitty Diablo 3 was. And you know what's so fucking funny? Is when this game comes out, every single person in the general chat is going to be talking about how shitty Diablo 4 is.
Okay, let's check in on some real loyal Diablo 4 superfans, who I am sure are going to stick with D4 instead of this Diablo-like PoE 2.
Hey folks, this is Riker, and this week saw the most hype live stream the ARPG world has ever seen, the announcement of Diablo 4 Season of the Witch Doctor, basically. No, obviously it was Path of Exile 2.
I'm a starving man. I'm starving for Path of Exile 2 content, so I'm going to rewatch the same live stream for 15 days in a row until this game's out, okay?
In my opinion, this is one of the strongest announcements I've ever seen in the history of ARPGs.
I think I can kind of get away with less time spent from now on in Diablo 4 and more time invested into PoE 2. I'm going to be blasting this game at the very least until Season 7 launches, and then probably go right back into PoE 2.
Holy shit. Okay, alright, Rob, please tell me you didn't drink the Kool-Aid too.
I'm really excited to jump into PoE come December 6th.
Okay, I give up. Let's at least try and figure out why this is happening.
Something that happens almost every time a new action RPG launches is people saying there isn't enough in-game content.
Nah, that's never happened. I've personally, I've never seen that happen in an ARPG. I don't know what he's talking about.
It's not complicated and it's not intimidating at all, which is why Diablo 4 sold so well. Almost no barrier to entry. They're great for casual players. The problem is it lacks an endgame almost entirely.
I'm really excited to jump into PoE. The biggest reason for me by far is probably the crazy endgame that they have. This focus on the endgame is just absolutely crazy and fresh and new to me, because coming from...
Did he just say the focus on in-game is crazy and fresh and new to me? Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah, before. After a certain amount of time, there is not that much to do in...
I'm sorry, I have to laugh.
There truly is nothing to do.
Holy shit, dude. Dude, back to back, saying the same thing. I love how the reaction is the same from literally everyone.
Well, I guess that's not literally true, but there aren't really any great rewards for doing that. I don't have any super awesome mounts. I don't have any titles. My character isn't glowing. I can't link you an item that is so rare and so godly that you wouldn't be able to find it yourself from all the hours that I put into it. The rewards are just not there.
Man, it gets worse. Nothing to do, no reason to do the things there are to do, and no rewards for doing them.
Okay, guys, I think it's inevitable. I also need to try this game out, and for exactly the reason you may think. To bring to light why PoE 2 is a vastly inferior game to the masterpiece we call Diablo 4.